So if you do not wish to have your image included in the recorded video, please keep your camera off. However, we would like to have everyone turn on their cameras so that we can take a group screenshot during the gallery view at the end of the event. Today, we are honored with the presence of General Nakasone, Commander of U.S. Cybercom and the Director of the National Security Agency. We also have in attendance, should be a Major General retired Garrett Yee. Thank you for joining us. Additionally, also registered to come attend this is a state senator from Rhode Island, Linda Ujifusa. Thank you for joining us, ma'am. We have over 50 people from all over the nation registered to attend this meeting today. In attendance are people from Virginia, California, Maryland, Hawaii, Texas, South Carolina, Rhode Island, Georgia, Florida, and Canada. Before we go forward, one of our illustrious members, U.S. Army Captain Retired Wade Ishimoto, a former member of the Delta Force, will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. But before he begins, I ask that everyone unmute their microphones so that we can all recite it together. Wade, the floor is yours.
Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag
To the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
liberty and
liberty and
justice
justice
for all.
for all.
Thank you, Wade.
All right, thank you, Wade. This is Gerald Yamada again. Let me offer some opening remarks, but before I do that, I'd like to introduce the members of our Executive Council, which is the governing body of Java. First is Vice President Howard High, Treasurer Michael Katahara, Secretary Kei Izumihara, Mark Nakagawa, who is Chair of our Finance Committee. Unfortunately, Mark is on travel overseas and was not able to join us. But I think he's the longest standing member of the EC, continuous member of the EC. Next, we have Cynthia McRae, Chair of the Outreach Committee. Jason Kuroiwa, who is Chair of the Communications Committee. Marty Herbert, who is the liaison to the Freedom Walk Committee, as well as Chair of the Awards Committee. Dawn Ellenberger, General Counsel. Danielle Nago, who is a member at large. Robert Fokak, again, member at large. Lynn Mariano, who is the regional representative in Hawaii. And the person that keeps us straight is Neith Ford, our executive director. First of all, I think Java's very fortunate in terms of having such talented people serve on the executive committee and council. And I think our programming reflects that. Java's mission is to support those who served and are serving, with attention given to promoting the legacy of the Japanese American soldiers who served in World War II. And I think our annual programs are supportive of this mission. We continue to support those missions. And we added two new programs this past year. We had, for the first time, a Day of Affirmation dinner. It was held at the U.S. Army Museum, and we featured or honored Colonel Virgil Miller, who was assigned command of the 442nd Regimental Combat Team during the battle to save the Lost Battalion. We also sponsored a photo exhibit featuring portraits of World War II veterans, World War II soldiers taken by Wayne Sato. I think if you watched the video beforehand, you saw the exhibit. This coming year, we will, and the other thing we did for the first time last year, JAVA was invited to participate in several events held in Hawaii honoring World War II veterans. Again, this coming year, we will sponsor our annual programs. We will be sponsoring another photo exhibit. This year, it'll be for 3 months, again, held at the Japanese American Information Center, and it'll be a collection of photographs actually taken during World War II of the Japanese American soldiers. It will open on September 20th and run through December. So again, we have a very good program lined up for you this year, and I hope you will continue to support us, and we look forward to having you join us. At this time, let me turn it over to Marty Herbert, Chair of the JAVA Awards Committee, for the awards presentation. Marty?
Thank you, Mr. President. Ladies and gentlemen, honored on behalf of JAVA and the awards committee consisting of Terry Shima, Mark Nakagawa, and myself to present these awards to our outstanding recipients today. The JAVA award process is carefully recommended, vetted, and approved according to our awards committee guidelines, and we present these annually. The first award, the Courage, Honor, and Patriotism Award, is JAVA's highest award, started in 2005. This award honors a person who or organization has, in either the public or private sector, demonstrated superior courage, honor, and patriotism as exemplified by Nisei, who served in the 100th Battalion, 442nd Regimental Combat, Military Intelligence Service, and the U.S. Army Air Corps as gunners during World War II, or performed outstanding work to benefit the nation, including Japanese Americans over a sustained period of time. Some of the previous recipients include the late Senator Akaka, General and former Secretary of Veteran Affairs Eric Shinseki, Ambassador Fujisaki, my late father-in-law Bob Nakamoto, the 100th Infantry Battalion, 442nd Infantry, and the late Honorable Norm Mineta. This year, JAVA is proud to award this year's Courage, Honor, and Patriotism Award to General Paul M. Nakasone, Commander, U.S. Cyber Command and Director, National Security Agency Chief, Central Security Service. In April 2018, General Nakasone was unanimously confirmed by the U.S. Senate as Director of the National Security Agency and head of the United States Cyber Command. He was also promoted to the rank of 4-star general. In May 2022, General Nakasone was asked to remain as the head of U.S. Cyber Command and the National Security Agency until 2023. In these roles, he has attracted attention for disclosing that the U.S. government took unspecified cyber offensive action against ransomware gangs operating outside the United States that targeted American infrastructure, as well as against Russian targets associated with the invasion of Ukraine. The award plaque reads, Japanese American Veterans Association Courage, Honor, Patriotism Award, presented to General Paul M. Nakasone, United States Army, for outstanding service to the nation as Commander, U.S. Cyber Command and Director, National Security Agency, Chief, Central Security Service. Your astute leadership has countered cyber threats and made the nation and the world a safer and more secure place. Given under Java's hand in Washington, D.C., February 4th, 2023. Can we get a hand, please, for General Nakasone? Sir, I'd like to turn it over to you for any comments on behalf of Java.
He's muted.
I think you're mute. There we go. I think you're still on mute.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Clearly, I'm not General Nakasone. I'm Colonel Travis, his executive officer. Unfortunately, General Nakasone was pulled away for a phone call. He extends his significant regrets and looks forward to rejoining you, hopefully in a few minutes, as soon as he gets off of that phone call. But his apologies, and he looks forward to coming back here momentarily. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Colonel. What we'll do whenever he comes back on, we'll give him the opportunity, afford him the opportunity to say a few words when he comes back on. Okay, our next award. You're welcome. Our next award is the Terry T. Shima Leadership Award. Started in 2012, this award recognizes exemplary, meritorious conduct in service and achievements in support of Java's goals and missions for veterans and for leadership portrayed. The award also recognizes outstanding visionary leadership. And of note, Terry Shima just celebrated his 100th birthday. He's probably watching right now. Previous awardees include Terry Shima, the late Grant Ichikawa, Bill Houston, Esquire. Java is proud to award this year's Terry Shima Leadership Award to the late Commander Michael Amatsu, United States Coast Guard retired Java Treasurer, awarded posthumously. When the call to serve as Java's treasurer was announced, Michael volunteered and served in an outstanding manner. He was conscientious, meticulous in performing treasurer's duties, ensuring all obligations were paid in a timely manner and all financial requirements submitted in accordance to IRS requirements. A native of Honolulu, Hawaii, he loved the ocean and embraced every opportunity to incorporate it into his life. From skipping class in high school, to going surfing to the detriment of his grades, to becoming a certified hard helmet diver. His affection for the ocean drew him to his career as an officer in the United States Coast Guard, retiring in 1999 after serving honorably for 22 years. Michael never met a stranger and would regale anyone that would listen with his stories, whether it be stories of his time sailing with the Coast Guard, his involvement in the Japanese American Veterans Association, or his many political beliefs. He enjoyed being the handyman of the family and fixing things for everyone. Michael loved to play the ukulele and share his music with his family and friends. He enjoyed cooking and grilling when given the chance. Commander Michael Matsu's service to this nation, the U.S. Coast Guard, and Java reflects great credit upon himself and the legacy of the 100th Battalion, 442nd Regimental Combat Team, and the Military Intelligence Service. The word plaque reads, Japanese American Veterans Association Terry T. Shima Leadership Award, presented posthumously to Commander Michael Amatsu, U.S. Coast Guard retired, for outstanding service to the nation and selfless service to Java's treasure. Your dedication to the nation and our community epitomizes the legacy of the 100th Infantry Battalion, 442nd Regimental Combat Team, and the Military Intelligence Service. Given under Java's hand in Washington, D.C., February 4th, 2023. At this time, I would also like to read a statement from Sue Omatsu. I would like to thank Java for the Terry T. Shima Leadership Award to Michael Amatsu. He believed it was his duty to not only give back, to also inform the future. He would be so appreciative, as are we. Michael was very proud of the family commitment in serving their country. Respectfully, Sue Omatsu. And at this time, I would also like to turn it over to Ms. Sheila Sumter, who would like to say a few words on behalf of Michael and the award received today. Sheila?
Thank you. On behalf of me and my daughter, I believe that Michael did not fully recognize the impact of answering his call to duty. In talking with former shipmates and classmates, people in the community that lived in, they expressed their appreciation of Michael's efforts, and all he did was to reach out and connect. He approached his service to fellow veterans by engaging them in conversation. He thanked them for their service. It was as simple as that. And to underscore what Sue said in her statement, the legacy of Michael's father's service to the country through the 442 was a great source of inspiration and commitment. And he was proud that all 4 sons of James Yasumi Omatsu served in the military. When people would thank Michael for his service to the country, he would simply say, "My pleasure. I'd do it all over again." Thank you very much for this award for Michael.
Thank you, Sheila. Michael will never be forgotten on behalf of Java and a grateful nation. Our next award is the Java Veterans Advocate Award. Started in 2008, this award recognizes individuals who have supported Java's perpetuation of the Japanese-American World War II legacy. This award has been presented to Japanese Embassy Defense Attaches, Deputy Chiefs of Missions, Heads of Chancery, or who have distinguished themselves by performing projects supporting Japanese-American veterans. It has also been awarded to others who have distinguished themselves under the same criteria. Known as the Book Clock, some of the previous awardees include Minister Kato, the head of Chancery, the late Senator Akaka on the occasion of his retirement. Java is proud to present this year's Java Veterans Advocate Award to one of the hardest working people that we all know, and she's with us today, Ms. Christine DeRosa, who has served as chairman of the Java Scholarship Committee since 2009, when 123 scholarships were awarded. In 2022, 16 scholarships valued at $28,000 were awarded. A large number of students apply each year, a testimony of Chris's effective leadership. Candidates for scholarships are pleased with the smoothness associated with the awards, the application procedures, and the dignity of the award ceremonies. The award plaque reads, Japanese American Veterans Association Veterans Advocate Award presented to Christine DeRosa in recognition of your unflagging dedication to and leadership of the Java Scholarship Program. Your commitment to the Java Scholarship Program honors and ensures the legacy of the 100th Battalion, 442nd Regimental Combat Team, and Military Intelligence Service will live on in the next generation. Given under our hand at Java in Washington, D.C., February 4th, 2023. Can we please get a hand for Mr. Rosa? Chris, at this time, we'd like to turn it over to you for any comments.
Okay. Well, I am Chris DeRosa, and I very humbly accept this award. Hearing the names of the people who have received this in the past make it even more touching to me. This award is accepted in recognition of the work that our committee has done over the past 4, not 14 years. I've only been chair for 4 years. I want to thank committee members Cynthia and Dawn, who have been with me on the committee for the past 4 years, and also to Kay, Bob, Mary, and Janelle, who have served with me during that time as well. Without their dedicated efforts, the scholarship program would have faltered. So Java did award scholarships. I believe in 2010, we awarded 6 scholarships, and the number has steadily increased to where we awarded 16 last year. This work has been especially rewarding because they allow us to honor the legacy of our Nisei veterans and their families, and to support our young people as they pursue higher education. Again, thank you for this honor and for your support.
Thank you, Chris. Outstanding job. Our last award is the Java Legacy Award, which is the bronze replica of the Congressional Gold Medal with the inscription. Java is proud to award this year's Java Legacy Award to Mr. Bruce Henderson. Bruce's Bridge to the Sun, The Secret Role of Japanese Americans Who Fought in the Pacific in World War II, made its public debut on November 27, 2022. Bruce's previous book, Sons and Soldiers, The Untold Story of Jews Who Escaped the Nazis and Returned with the U.S. to Fight Hitler, was a New York Times bestseller. The New Yorker listed Bridge to the Sun as the best book of 2022. The National Book Review said, Henderson illuminates the little-known history of the Nisei, showing that these recruits were avidly loyal American patriots who knew the enemy and were highly motivated to defeat them. Henderson vividly captures the irony that while these heroes played a crucial role in the victory in the Pacific, their relatives faced hatred and incarceration in the U.S. The award plaque reads, Legacy Award, in appreciation, Bruce Henderson, for honoring the MIS Nisei who served in World War II. The Japanese American Veterans Association, given under our hand in Washington, D.C., February 4th, 2023. Get a hand for Mr. Henderson. Mr. Henderson, sir, we'd like to turn it over to you for any comments and congratulations.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, I'm sorry I couldn't get my camera on this morning, but I am really honored to receive this recognition, and for my book to receive this recognition. And I really thank Java for your support from the beginning, and thank to Gerald Yamada for writing a very moving afterword for the book about his own family's experience during World War II. And one of the first calls I made when I started this project was to Terry Shima. And Terry just greeted the news that I was going to write a book about the MIS Nisei service in the Pacific with just unbound enthusiasm. And we started a long journey, Terry and I did, 3 or 4 years. And I thank Terry so much for it. He's really been an advocate and such a help in wanting this story told. And I also need to acknowledge and credit the late Roger Eaton, who I understand won a Legacy Award a couple of years. He spent the last year or two of his life working on a database, collecting names of Nisei linguists who served in the Pacific. And this provided me, his list, with a 3,000-man roster of those vets of the Pacific that I was able to print in the back of my book. I felt that was really important to get as many, to get the names of the actual veterans in the book. And I can't tell you, the book's only been out 4 or 5 months, but I've received probably close to 100 emails already through my website from family members thanking me and saying that they saw their father or grandfather or uncle, and what a thrill it was to see him being acknowledged. It was really my honor to tell this story, this dramatic, poignant, and inspirational story, and especially to do it at a time when it's sorely needed in this country. Japanese Americans with ancestral ties to a nation we were at war with and distrusted for that reason became huge assets to our military because they knew our enemy better than anyone and were highly motivated to help defeat them. In an America that too often prejudges people based on race and ethnicity, their timeless message of courage and true patriotism should never be forgotten. And again, it was my honor to tell that story, and thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Henderson. We appreciate that. At this time, General Nakasoni's back. I'm going to go ahead and present the award again. The Courage, Honor, and Patriotism Award is Java's highest award. Started in 2005, this award honors a person who or organization which has in either the public or private sector demonstrated superior courage, honor, and patriotism as exemplified by the Nisei who served in the 100 Battalion 442nd Regimental Combat Team in the Military Intelligence Service and the U.S. Army Air Corps as gunners during World War II, or performed outstanding work to benefit the nation, including Japanese Americans over a sustained period of time. Some of the previous recipients include the late Senator Akaka, General Shinseki, and also former Secretary of Veteran Affairs, Ambassador Fujisaki, Bob Nakamoto, my late father-in-law, the 100th Infantry Battalion, 442nd Infantry, and the late Honorable Norma Netta. Java is proud to award our highest award for this year, the Courage, Honor, and Patriotism Award to General Paul M. Nakasone, Commander, U.S. Cyber Command and Director, National Security Agency, Chief, Central Security Service. In April 2018, General Nakasone was unanimously confirmed by the U.S. Senate as Director of the National Security Agency and head of the United States Cyber Command. He was also promoted to the rank of 4-star general. In May 2022, General Nakasone was asked to remain as the head of the U.S. Cyber Command and the National Security Agency until 2023. In those roles, he has attracted attention for disclosing that the U.S. government took unspecified cyber offensive action against ransomware gangs operating outside the United States that targeted American infrastructure, as well as against Russian targets associated with the invasion of Ukraine. The award plaque reads, Japanese American Veterans Association Courage, Honor, Patriotism Award, presented to General Paul M. Nakasone, U.S. Army, for outstanding service to the nation as Commander, U.S. Cyber Command, and Director, National Security Agency, Chief, Central Security Service. Your astute leadership has countered cyber threats and made the nation and the world a safer and more secure place. Given under Java's hand in Washington, D.C., February 4th, 2023. Can we get a hand, please, for General Nakasone? General, sir, I'd like to turn it over to you on behalf of Java for any comments.
Marty, first of all, to all my good friends and President Yamada and members of the executive committee, let me first begin by apologizing. It just happens today. There's a lot of things going on in the world, and as soon as you're ready to start the meeting, of course, I'm getting a phone call. And again, my apologies for coming in late. But today is a very, very special day. First of all, to see the work of Shane Sato that he did in 2022 and the incredible pictures of our veterans, to hear from Bruce Henderson, whose book means so much to me personally, and to see all of my good friends here virtually. Truly, thank you very much. I am deeply touched to have been presented this award, the highest honor Java bestows, and I'm incredibly proud to be counted among the illustrious company of previous awardees. As many of you may know, my father is a Nisei who witnessed the attack on Pearl Harbor and later served in the U.S. Army Military Intelligence Service as an interpreter for America's reconstruction efforts in Japan. I'm here today proudly serving our nation because of the example he set and the deep and unquenchable pride he and others who serve in the Army's 442nd Regimental Combat Team, the 100th Infantry Battalion, and the Military Intelligence Service felt because of their service. By their example, I have always striven to match the honor and commitment Nisei soldiers showed on behalf of our nation, and to be seen by my fellow veterans to have achieved that is really an incredible feeling. Thank you. In accepting this award, I would be wholly remiss not to acknowledge the outstanding work and commitment of Java itself and those who work tirelessly to support it. I have always believed the mission of Java to be essential, helping Japanese American veterans and their dependents in need, educating the American people on the critical role Japanese Americans veterans played in our nation's history, and of course, keeping alive the memory of those of us who sacrificed so much in service to our beloved country. It is a deeply noble undertaking, and I applaud all of you for the efforts on behalf of our fellow veterans and their families. Nothing could be more important. I wish all of you many thanks, and really my heartfelt thanks for this great honor. Thank you.
Thank you, General Nakasone. This time, I'd like to turn it back over to our president, Gerald Yamada, and thank you very much for all your support on behalf of the awards committee. Mr. President.
Thank you, Marty. Great job. And congratulations to all the recipients, all well-deserved awards, and we appreciate the hard work of the awards committee. Let me turn to one piece of business. We're proposing an amendment to the bylaws regarding the composition of our membership. This is something that the executive committee has discussed over a 10-year period of time, starting about 10 years ago. The bylaw change is really is not new. It reflects the requirements of federal law and IRS regulations. Java is a 501c 19 organization, and because of that status, there are certain membership requirements that are imposed upon the organization in order for Java to maintain its tax exempt status, but also for people that contribute financially to Java, in order for them to take a tax exemption or tax deduction, required that Java maintain its status as a war veterans organization. The requirements that are reflected in the bylaw change, for the most part, reflect what is in the law and IRS regulations. There is one policy decision that the Executive Council, I believe, made many years ago, but it was unspoken, and I frankly thought it was being followed. And I think because of turnover in the Executive Council, that was kind of forgotten and overlooked. So I thought it was important that we articulate the policy change that is reflected in the bylaws. And let me just be clear as to what that is, so people know what we're changing. Under the federal law, ancestors and lineal descendants of former members of the military are eligible to join a war veterans organization. The organization itself maintains at 75% of its total membership as war veterans. Now, a war veteran is basically someone who served during a period of war. The person did not have to serve in an actual combat area. And from the beginning of World War II to the present, I think there was a brief period of time in the 1950s, a couple of years in the 1950s, when the Congress had not declared that the United States was at war. So for the most part, any veteran is a war veteran. I think in Java's membership, we had one person who served in the 50s during that period of time, so he didn't qualify as a war veterans. But anyway, 75% war veterans, the remaining 25% are non-war veterans, cadets of military academies, and ancestors and descendants, lineal descendants of the military servicemen. The IRS modified that and put that latter category into a subgroup of the 25%, and so that only 2.5% of the total membership can be either other or descendants and ancestors. The difficulty that imposes upon us is that since it's key to the number of war veterans we have, we would constantly be adjusting, either increasing or decreasing the number. And the EC decided that it's a lot better if we just make descendants and descendants and lineal or ancestors and lineal descendants friends of Java and not as general members. And so that's what's reflected in the bylaws. The net effect of that, for the most part, is negligible. Friends of Java do not vote, nor can they hold office. But most of the 4 offices in Java, 3 are one of the requirements is that you must be a former member of the military. The one big effect is that Friends of Java, their children would not be eligible to apply for a Java membership, for a not membership, but Java scholarship. They may qualify under other criteria if they are descendant or ancestor of a Japanese American veteran that served during World War II, then they would be eligible. And that was the main intent of the scholarship program to begin with. Is there any questions or discussion on this amendment? All right, let me call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion passed. Thank you very much. Let me now turn it over to Howard High to talk about the Strategic Planning Committee.
Oh yeah, I'll be sharing us 2 slides here in a second. The Strategic Planning Committee technically is not completely formulated yet. The purpose of this presentation is to solicit some participation by members of this organization, Java. Chair Yamada has expressed interest in making Java bigger and greater. So the tagline here is saying building on the great past for a greater future. And creating a strategic plan is very actually complex and long drawn process. I've attended a few webinars about creating these plans, and they said 6 to 12 months would take. I think once we get started, we could do it in actually a few months, because a lot of the elements of the strategic plan is already in place, such as our vision. Our vision is still the same. Our mission is there. So we don't have to worry about those kind of things. But what we want to do is, based on what we have available, we want to go forward and make our organization better. And thanks to Wade Ishimoto, he received a nice, great outline of developing the plan. And so just need to plug information in there. To start off, the things that I think personally what we can go forward to do is as the following. First, to grow and enrich our membership. We could target more areas to reach more people. Military installations, military academies, also especially the Defense Language Institute. So I said especially because our students of the Defense Language Institute are part of the legacy of the MISLS, the Military Intelligence Service Language School, which, by the way, General Nakasone's father was one of the very first graduates of the Army Language Schools, which later became the Defense Language Institute. The continuous dedicated support by the Department of Defense for the Defense Language Program proves the critical impact that MISLS have on national security. There are thousands of students who graduate from the Defense Language Institute every year, and I'm sure that some of them would like to join us and appreciate what we're doing and help us. So it's a great target-rich environment for new members right there. But they can't join Java unless they know about us. So outreach is very important. Then to enrich the membership, we need to engage with them, continuously work with them. Just not only tell them we're having this time, we're having this time. I would like to see us contacting them, each one of the members, grab a friend or somebody, a new member, say, this is what we do. Can you help us? It's anything like that, to continuously at least contact them that we are interested in them, and then show them that they have the value. I think they'll be appreciative of that. And also the moving out into the main stage. Right now, it appears that we are still in the margins. When we have our events, only our little community knows about it and appreciate it. The rest of the general community really don't know about it. Might hear it in passing, but they're not really part of it. I would like to move from the margins into the main stage, into the main page altogether. But in order to do that, we can't do it ourselves. Other organizations, veterans organizations, and other special interest groups have similar or congruent objectives as ours. But if we work together, we can make a very strong force, and we can easily be recognized by the general community. And also the accomplishments by the 142nd, such as the rescue of the Lost Battalion. It's American history. More Americans should know about this. By contacting and working with descendants of the 1st of the 41st Texans, we can probably reach out to people outside of the margins and have them get involved in there, since many of them are alive because of the 442nd. The future is there, and we can grow our organization, and we can have prominence and show the world that it is important. And you heard it from General Nakasone today that, yes, we have a very, very important task at hand. Very, very important. So if you would like to be part of creating this strategic plan, and not only based on what I just said about the main efforts, other ideas you may have that would help Java altogether, I would like for you to join this committee. And if you are interested, please contact me, email address, and then I will reach out all the people who are interested, and we'll create another platform where we can collaborate and create this strategic plan for Java. And hopefully, in just a few months, we'll have something to present to the Executive Council, from them to vote on. We'll make adjustments as needed. We need to be always be flexible to move forward. So please contact me if any of you, or you know of anybody else in our organization who can help in this effort. Please have them contact me. Okay. Well, thank you very much, and that is the end of my presentation of the strategic plan. Okay. Next, committee reports. I think the next person is Jason.
Kay, sorry. Kay and Mike.
Committee reports first by Communications Director Jason Kuroiwa.
Oh, well, esteemed members and friends, quickly, first kudos go to NEAT, our executive director, Howard, Noriko, and you, our members, who contribute, educate, and empower everyone on the legacy of our Nisei veterans and their families, because families serve too. Keep in touch with us. I highly encourage on our website, The Advocate, and social media. We're also on social media, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and we are also open to new ideas and your technical expertise. So we encourage you all to continue to share your stories of the Nisei veteran experience and to include our future generations. And thank you again for your support.
Thank you, Jason. Next, the finance report. Is Dawn available? Dawn, you're muted.
Howard, maybe move on to the next one and then give Dawn a chance to get it squared away.
Okay, that's a good idea. Dawn,
You hear me?
okay, great. Okay.
Oh, we got her now.
Okay, I'm on my phone because my voice is not working on the computer. For the finance report, stepping in for Mark, I'm pleased to report that our investment account did very well last year at a time when bonds were down over 10% and the S&P was down 6%. Our account actually rose 1.8% in the last year, thanks to our investment advisor, who did an extremely good job. We have over $900,000 in our account. Last year, we got over $40,000 in dividends that we can use for our programs. And we got another $20,000 in other distributions. And so again, we are in a very strong point financially. We have a cash balance of $58,000. And again, at a time when other accounts were going down, we have gone up. And that's the end of the finance report.
Thank you, Dawn. Next, Marty for Freedom Walk, please.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Vice President. So we've got the Freedom Walk coming up on 1 April, Saturday at 9 a.m. I would like to invite everybody, if you're in the area, the DMV area, please come out. May and I are flying up from Florida for it. This year's, it's a 25th Freedom Walk and also the 35th anniversary year of the Civil Liberties Act. And the theme is commemorating and continuing our fight for civil rights. We've got a well-known, renowned civil and human rights leader, Wayne Henderson, will be the guest speaker. And so again, we'd like to get as many people out as we can. It's the first one in 4 years because of COVID that's in person. Last year was virtual. It won't be virtual, it'll be in person. There's been some talk thinking that it's virtual this year, but it's going to be in person. So if you have any questions, please check the website. It's on the National Japanese American Memorial Foundation website. And Freedom Walk, 1 April, 9 o'clock on a Saturday at the memorial. It's going to be, really nice. Our President Yamada, will also be saying a few words. And that's all I have. Thank you, Mr. Vice President.
Thank you. Okay, next, Hawaii Regional Representative Len Mariano, are you available? Can I find you on the list here?
Yes. Aloha, everyone. I'm from Hawaii. This past year, I've done a lot of connections and tried to get Javas here represented at several events. For example, the Veterans Day, Memorial Day, and also attended a couple of other events in and around Hawaii. So the planning and coming up, and I want to thank President Gerald Yamada and also NEAT and Howard for all the support. And when Howard came to visit me in Hawaii, we had a really good chat of what we're trying to do here in Hawaii as far as recognizing those, particularly with scholarships here in the lakes. So lots to plan. I'm going to be meeting with other veteran organizations, and I look forward to continued support and moving ahead to not only get Java on the map here in Hawaii, but also to try to set up some organizations here to keep the legacy going. That's all. Aloha.
Thank you. Next, how about the nominations, Chair?
That's me again. 2024 is an election year for our officers. They serve 2-year terms. The president and vice president positions will come open. The treasurer and secretary could run another term if they choose. The nominations committee will be putting out a call for interested parties, people who would be willing to serve, on October 1st. So keep a look at that. It'll be in our advocate. So we will be reaching out to you. In 2022, for the first time, we ran the election with mail-in and online voting. We intend to do that again in January. So the month of January, I will be there for that. So again, look out for the note on getting folks who are interested in running for the officer positions. We hope we get a lot of interest this year. And that's the nomination report.
Thank you, Dawn. Next, Outreach Chair.
Yes, so I'm Cynthia Macri. I'm the chair for Outreach and Education. In the past, we've had multiple opportunities to speak at local middle and high schools, and also get involved with the Tomodachi exchange program. However, in the past 3 years, there have been fewer opportunities to speak, and I'm trying to get back into the circuit so that we're not forgotten. And I think locally, we have a slight advantage of having venues where children or teachers can visit to be reminded of the 442nd and the contributions of the Japanese American veterans during World War II, especially ultimately to the role that they played, or we played, in the full integration of the armed forces in the late 50s. I did speak at there's a national annual World War II Memorial Teachers Conference that's held by the Friends of the World War II Memorial. And this was going to be in person this year, and ultimately it ended up the tours were in person, but the program was still virtual. So anybody who would like to participate in that, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to keep doing it in July when the history teachers are in town. This year, as Gerald mentioned, we have had an increase in these annual events, and the next event, another annual event, is going to be the Day of Affirmation program. So be on the lookout for an invitation to participate in that as well. Everyone is welcome, and I think that we decided on the Army Navy Club venue, but correct me if I'm wrong. And thank you to Lynn for all of the increased activity from Hawaii. We did see many scholarship applicants, and I think we did talk. I think it was last year. One of the kids who received a a scholarship actually was a student teacher at my elementary school, YK Elementary School in Hilo. So I thought that was kind of cool. And also wanted to respond a little bit to the comment about the Defense Language School, because I think that in outreach to increase our membership, each of us comes from a different community, actually, which is kind of nice. I come from the medical community, and I went through, the list of people that got selected for 04 in the medical corps. And I mean, in the staff corps, so medical, dental, nurse corps, supply, civil engineers, and medical service corps. And there are a number of people with recognizably Japanese last names, and I think that might be a good place to start. So each of us could look into our own communities. And I do want to also mention that my father, who passed away in October last year, not 2 years ago, was a graduate of the Defense Language School and was sent over to Korea during the Korean War as a linguist and an interpreter with the MIS. So the legacy continues. And then the last thing is to speak about in improving our visibility on the stage, because there was a public law that was passed about racial and ethnic disparities in health evaluations and compensation, and for disability compensation. And I was actually interviewed by the GAO as a member of our community, and it was shocking how little the people who were interviewing me knew about the contributions of the Japanese American segregated units during during World War II and prior. So I think there's a lot more education and that needs to be done above and below, to make that transition. And then also thank you to Jason for being visible out in California. So I think those are two things. And I would like to also follow through on increasing our visibility in Texas. I mean, we have the Lost Battalion was a Texas group. I'm sorry, I'm a medical officer, so I don't know all the Army terms. But anyway, it was from the from Texas, and perhaps that would be a link as well to increase our visibility, as well as the fact that there's some fairly significant commands down there still on in Texas. So anyway, I submitted my report to the president, and so it should be available for the minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Cynthia. I like what you mentioned about each one of us has a strength, in a sense, being part of a community. As for DLI, I'm a member of the DLI Alumni Association, just as well as Vicki Jordan, who's here online watching us. She was in my class, DLI. We have people who in different communities that can reach out and do a lot of recruiting and work to get us more involved. Oh, there is Vicki Jordan. Hello, Vicki. Can you tell us maybe how we could bring people from DLI into the fold of Java? Oh, you're muted. Okay.
Well, I mean, Howard, I know, just partnering more with the alumni organization and, some of that, and just, I think what you've been talking about, just more reach out, and anytime we're out there, like every once in a while, some of us are out there, be equipped to talk about Java, right? And
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, great. But thank you. I'll be working with you more on this topic. Thank you.
Okay.
Also, as far as the Texas Battalion goes, at the last day of affirmation, we had Missy Higgins, whose father was the commander of the Lost Battalion. And I think she's a great place to start with her. So there are many assets that we have available. We have strength. We want to work and take advantage of those strengths that we have. Okay. Next, we have Executive Director. We have Neat.
Hi. So it's hard to believe that I'm coming up on my 5-year anniversary with Java. Prior to joining Java, I had worked professionally in college admissions and hospital administration. And in graduate school, I attended JASC, the Japanese American Student Conference in Japan, and became fascinated with Japanese culture. And my father was in World War II. So when the opportunity to join Java came up, I was thrilled. Right before I joined Java, like many in the Metro DC area, I went to the National Portrait Gallery to see the newly installed Obama portraits. Michelle Obama's portrait shares a room not only with the portrait of Secretary Mineta, but also with Roger Shimomura's Shimomura crossing the Delaware. For those of you who have seen it, you know the magnetic pull the piece has, the large scale, the vivid colors, and of course the imagery, his utterly new take on the historic painting of Washington's journey across the icy waters. Although I was aware of the tragic story of Japanese American internment during World War II, Shimomura's work conveyed, perhaps in a way that only art can, a different experience of patriotism. Since joining Java, I'm now deeply familiar with the heroic response of Japanese American men and women who volunteered to serve in World War II despite the injustice of internment and the intense racial discrimination they and their families experienced. And Java honors that patriotism in all of our events. As executive director, I have the great pleasure of meeting many of you at luncheons and events here in DC. I'm truly appreciative of all the pitching in, lending a hand, and helping organize, and for your patience when things go sideways. As ED, I post on the Java website. If any of you are tech-oriented, this is an area where we could use some help. You may know that we maintain the original Java DC, and as well as our Java-US website, and assistance on how we can improve is welcome. I also answer emails and inquiries often from families seeking information about a relative or historical matter, and I'm grateful to the cadre of Java historians who have amazing encyclopedic knowledge and are incredibly quick and comprehensive in their response to my questions. I also have the great fortune of working with Java donors. Your reasons for contributing, whether it's honoring a family member or a friend or the work Java does, are deeply meaningful to all of us. The annual giving for the scholarship program and the actual program, now virtual, is a highlight, a beautiful homage where the past, present, and future all meet. Last year, a former Inouye Scholarship recipient sponsored a scholarship in honor of his grandfather, and it was just lovely in so many ways. Lastly, as ED, I work with the Executive Committee Chair of Communications, Jason Kuroiwa, and Terry Shima to publish the newsletter, The E-Advocate, each month. We're delighted to share that our readership is almost 50% of our members. We're appreciative of those of you who write articles about events in your local area, and those of you who share articles from other publications that Java members might be interested in. Do know that sometimes we don't receive permission to reprint, but we keep trying. Please keep the articles, recommendations, and photos coming. We feel very privileged to publish those stories and the obituaries you share, and we remain inspired by all of them. In closing, my many thanks to all the members and friends of Java who make my job so rewarding. Also, much thanks to Gerald for his leadership and his almost daily guidance and kindness. And to all on the executive committee for their generosity of spirit and the zeal for the work we do.
That second theory could be possible. That the Chinese military can act on its own without these rubber stamping.
Okay, that was a part of yours. Okay, thank you very much, Neat. We can go now right into event, the Memorial Day event.
Howard, I think you skipped the treasurer, the secretary.
Yes, I forgot. Yeah, she's gonna come back
Robert,
on.
And then,
oh yes.
Yeah, 4 more.
4 more? Okay. Definitely the scholarship Committee by Chris DeRosa, our rock star.
Okay, my turn, huh? Neat, thank you very much for everything you do, but thank you also for going over your biography, because I thought that's what we were supposed to do and nobody else was doing it. I thought, uh-oh, I got the wrong directions. Anyway, I won't make it too long, but I did grow up on Oahu, graduated from Lilihua High School, Go Mules, that's for Wade, and the University of Hawaii, and I got my master's degree from University of Oregon. My father, Susumu Ota, was a proud member of the 100th Battalion. I had 3 other uncles who served in the 100th and the 442nd. So their legacy and their memory are very dear to me. I didn't hear about, so talking about outreach, I didn't hear about Java until 2010. And I have been here decades. So I'm glad that we are kind of going to make sure that we get our name out there and the legacy and the stories out there more. Grant Ichikawa is the one that kind of dragged me in and got me to help him with the membership list at that time. And Terry Shima and Grant kept me going. Like, here's something else you can do. So it's an honor to serve and be a member of Java, friend of Java. The scholarship committee is one of the things that is very important, as I mentioned before. It's a way to honor and preserve the legacy of our Nisei veterans. Our students, our applicants, I think, continue the story because a lot of them find that they have to go and talk to their family members, talk to their great-grandpa or their grandfather and find out what their stories are where they had never done that before. Or they might do some research to find out, what is it about the Nisei experience? And so I think that's a great way to continue our story. So we are going to start later this month. You should get some information about the scholarship program for 2023 opening. At this point, I think we have 13 scholarships to offer this year. Almost all of them will be granted to direct and lineal descendants of World War II Nisei veterans. But we have some, the Inoue Scholarship, for example, we also are looking for someone who's going into military service or public service as their career goal. So look for that. We hope that you will tell anyone that you know about the scholarships and encourage them to apply.
Thank you, Chris. That was a great, scholarship program is one of the best programs I know Java does. I love it. Thank you. Next, Kay. Kay Izumihara.
Hello, everyone. Hold on one second. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kay Izumihara. I'm a California native and currently in the DC area. I found Java while stationed in Hawaii with my active duty husband and myself in the Army Reserves. I wanted to get involved with the community and I felt drawn to this organization because I am a Japanese American veteran myself. Also, my father is born and raised in Hawaii, and he spoke highly of the 442nd throughout my childhood. So I'm hoping to give back more as I get older. I currently serve as the Secretary of Java, and I assist with editing the quarterly minutes and or the quarterly meeting minutes. I also have been serving on the scholarship committee and for the last 2 years, and I intend to participate again in this rewarding opportunity. So I'm answering your question, Ms. Chris, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Kay. Next, Colonel Danielle Ngo. Okay, there she is. If you could unmute yourself, please.
Hi, everyone. I'm glad to be here. And a little bit about myself. I am retiring from the Army after a total of 34 years. Both reserve, active duty, ROTC, you name it, I've done it. And it's just an incredible organization that we have here. When I met Gerald, he asked me to come and speak for Veterans Day. And I said, are you sure? Do you know I'm not Japanese? And he laughed and he said, this organization is more than just for Japanese members. And I had no idea. And I think a lot of people don't have any idea that that's that way either. And so 2021, I came and spoke at the for the Veterans Day, and it was amazing. There was a monument that was outside the regular, but what we think of as the National Mall monuments. And I really thought that's all there was. You go there and you walk around to all the monuments there, and that was it. I had no idea that there are monuments outside of that area. And Japanese American Veterans Association, has one of them. And it was just amazing to be there and to represent this community a couple of years ago. And so, so I am retiring April Fool's Day. So I'm on terminal leave right now. And I really think that I can help with the strategic plan, Howard, because I do definitely think that there needs to be outreach to get new members, and new members that don't necessarily have to be Japanese, but members that need to understand the Japanese and the military, the history, things that I learned growing up in the military, but a lot of people don't know. So, I mean, my course, they force-fed me history. So I know a lot, but definitely not enough. And so every event that I've been to, I've learned more. And so I really appreciate this education that I'm going through, being a part of the executive council that I just joined last year. So thank you very much. And please come to all the events. I know that we all need the support and just the word of mouth. Thank you.
Good luck on retirement.
Yes. Okay. Right. Next, Bob Volpak, where are you? Oh, there you are. Okay. You're muted, Bob.
I'll try that again.
Yeah.
Must be that artillery stuff. So hi, everyone. My name is Bob Volpak, and I am a retired U.S. Army Field Artillery officer. I have been a member of JAVA for just a handful of years, but was truly honored last year to be asked to become a member of the EC. I'll tell you that I came to Canada in 1999 on a military assignment. I retired from the Army here in Canada in 2003. And just so that everyone knows, I'm living the dream, because as I look outside the window right now, it's a balmy 10 degrees outside. My 442nd roots are through my grandfather, Colonel Virgil R. Miller, the second commanding officer of the 442nd Regimental Combat Team. Last July, I was honored to participate in the wreath-laying ceremony on July 15th with Sandra Tanamachi and Missy Higgins of Brunzo. That was just an amazing event for me, so meaningful, so powerful, and it was just so special to be part of that wreath-laying ceremony. Good things, I guess, come in pairs. So then we had our Day of Affirmation dinner on the following evening. That was held at the U.S. Army Museum, and that was just an absolutely stunning place for the dinner. All of the work that went into that by all of the people who put that together was just first rate. And it was wonderful to have the opportunity to speak at that dinner of my grandfather. And again, that was truly an honor to do that. I very much am looking forward to the Day of Affirmation ceremony again this year, both a wreath-laying ceremony and the ability to attend the lunch. I look forward to meeting more people face-to-face this coming to July. And I hope that I can contribute more and more to the organization as I learn my way through and how to navigate. And I thank everyone who has been such a great assistance to me since I joined the team. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Bob. We had the finance chair talk, but however, anybody want to speak on behalf of the treasurer here?
Hey, Howard, this is Mike Kanahara. Hey, real quick, thanks for your opportunity to speak here. Just a quick introduction. I've been part of Java for probably about 4 or so years. Got recruited into being the treasurer by Mr. Yamada. And it's been a blast just getting to know all the great folks that are part of Java. Just by way of my past, I'm a retired submariner, been out for probably about 8 or 9 years now. Born and raised in Hawaii, and then I found myself stuck in the Washington, D.C. metro area and loving every minute of it. Just a quick snapshot of our finances, or at least our budget. Neat, our executive director, continues to operate Java really, really well. We operate mindful of our annual budget, and her and many others' successful annual fundraising allows us to fund our operations without dipping into our principal investments a whole lot. We did get a good report on our investments, which have been great, even through a really dynamic period that's going around us. And then, like you all have heard, and many comments that we've heard, we also have a very healthy scholarship program, and it's supported by some really, really great donors. And yeah, I just looking forward to continuing to help out here and working with some really great Americans. Thanks, Howard.
Thank you. Okay, are there any other officers who need to come up? If we go right into the events report, Memorial Day.
So I am going to talk a little bit about the Memorial Day event. I was a former speaker there. I just, since I didn't introduce myself or give any bio, I'm actually was commissioned in the United States Navy in 1979, and I retired in 2014. So I had 35 years in the service, but more importantly, crossed over from the 70s to the 80s to the 90s, the 2010s. And so you can imagine how much the military changed in those 5 decades that that during which I served. So it has been, it's of course, I agree with whoever said, you know, thank you for your service. Well, it's the greatest job I ever had. And if I could have stayed in longer, I would have. And in fact, I actually spoke to the Chief of Naval Operations. I said, sir, you know, the 30-year limit is based on the fact that our life expectancy used to be in the mid-60s. But now that we women, especially, we live to be in the mid-80s, you know, give us a break, you know, let us have 40 or 50. There's no brain drain then, right? So, but anyway, Terry Shima recruited me to join Java, and actually, and the reality is that in the military, serving in the military, especially in the medical corps, there wasn't really a, you know, you didn't realize, I guess, that you were different from everybody else just because you were the only. In my case, you know, most of the command, so I was the only person of Japanese or Asian descent, and so I just, you know, never recognized that. But Terry got me to really look at my roots, and I've been working now in several nonprofits in the Asian American community, including representing the AAPI community in the Governor's Commission on Suicide Prevention for the state of Maryland. So for those of you that come from other states, another option to improve visibility of the Japanese American Veterans Association is to volunteer for commission. So I serve on the Governor's Commission for Suicide Prevention in Maryland, and also on the Maryland Veterans Commission. And so there's, and it's shocking that, you know, we don't have representation on many of these commissions. But so speaking of Memorial Day, I did speak once, but one of the things that I think is really is really touching, I think, about the Memorial Day setting is that we participate with the only elementary school in the area in the United States that's named for Spark Matsunaga. So Spark Matsunaga is a former Hawaii representative and I believe senator, but and the school was named for him. So every Veterans Day there's a concert, and you can go to our YouTube channel that Howard uploaded the video from the past year, and it's just the most adorable thing. 4th and 5th graders singing patriotic songs for an hour, and it's so it's a great program, and you can go and listen to the kids singing, and then we invite them. So one of the students from Spark Matsunaga Elementary School and their teacher, their principal, comes down to the Memorial Day program at Arlington National Cemetery, and they give a little speech as well. Like the kid gives a speech. So we have a great partnership and recognition of the of each other, and so Memorial Day is the event is held right outside the columbarium. In Arlington National Cemetery on Memorial Day. So please come and participate, and we look forward to seeing you.
Hey, thank you, Cynthia. Next, Day of Affirmation.
Howard, we've covered that in my previous remarks. If there's anything else, though, I'd be happy to address it.
You have any more further information? Yeah, we'd love to hear it.
Sure, thank you. So last year, of course, we had our Day of Affirmation dinner, as I previously mentioned, at the Army Museum. And this year, as previously mentioned by a couple of folks, we're going to have a luncheon this year planned for the Army and Navy Club in downtown Washington. So that's going to be on July the 16th, I believe, Gerald, if I'm correct, beginning at 11:30 on Sunday, July the 16th. So certainly looking forward to great participation, and as previously mentioned, looking forward to the opportunity to meet more of you face to face at that Day of Affirmation event. Thank you, Howard.
Thank you, Bob. And the last event.
Howard, can I just add a little bit to Bob's remarks about the Day of Affirmation? The Day of Affirmation, by the way, commemorates July 15th, 1946, when Harry Truman reviewed the returning 442nd to the United States at the White House Eclipse and presented the unit with its 7th presidential unit citation. The reason Java picked that date, it's a date to celebrate the president's affirmation that the Nisei soldiers were in fact loyal U.S. citizens and in fact America's heroes. This year, for the luncheon, we're still planning it, but we're hoping to focus on Camp Ritchie. Camp Ritchie is in Maryland, and what Camp Ritchie did was that it trained U.S. soldiers in German, French, and Italian, and basically was the counterpart to the MIS in the Pacific. It's interesting that one class of the MIS went through Camp Ritchie, and there is a mural of the Niseis at Camp Ritchie, which was the subject of legislation by the state of Maryland. Maryland gave the Ritchie Museum $400,000 to preserve the mural, and the mural is in the building that will be the Ritchie Museum. But anyway, we're trying to get a speaker that can share with us the history of the Ritchie Boys. So I think it's a way of outreaching to a broader community. And again, like Bob said, 11:30, July 16th, the historic Army Navy Club at Farragut Square. Thank you, Howard.
Thank you, Gerald. Okay, next, Veterans Day.
I think we covered that.
Oops. You talked about, yeah, she was talking while she was doing her part, but, and you have anything additional to talk about?
Yes,
Yes,
I'd like to add something. So again, this is Colonel Ngo. I just wanted to make a couple mentions of this past year's keynote speaker. It was U.S. Lieutenant Colonel Monica C. Williams. And what I want to advocate for is that this was recorded and it's on JAVA's website. So please go there, take a look at the website, and it has, past events, it has upcoming events. So I really like to get on that website and see what's being done, and they also have links to other events as well. So please do that. And again, it's at the National Japanese American Memorial to Patriotism in World War II. So it's a little bit of a mouthful, but it's on historic land, monument land. It's not at the National Mall itself. So again, you have to take a look at it. It's got beautiful bronze statue of Japanese cranes, and it's really impactful if you go there and you take a look at it. So this year we don't have a keynote speaker yet, but please join us this year, November 11th, probably close to the same time in the afternoon, but it's also virtual. So for the last couple of years, because of COVID, we've had an in-person and a virtual. So I'm not sure if we're doing that again this year, but highly recommend it because we got a lot of participation on the virtual site. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel. Okay, are there any alibis? Any officers? Anybody want to add anything to what they've already said? If there are nothing, we are going into the closing portion. However, before we close and adjournment, I would like to get a complete screenshot of everybody. So if everybody could turn on their cameras, and then not only me, but everybody else, go ahead and do screenshots to see who's there. And if there's more than enough people, you just go ahead and scan through pages. Make sure you got everybody in there. Okay. So maybe we'll do that also of screenshot while everybody is waving. The wave. Okay. Wave. Okay, fantastic. Hopefully, if you have a good looking screenshot, please send it to me also, and I can put it part of our recording. Good record for posterity. Okay, thank you very much. Yes.
Howard, one quick question. How did the annual fundraising turn out?
Oh, neat. Maybe you can provide us information about the annual fundraising.
Sure. This has been our third year, and each year we have exceeded our expectations. And as I briefly mentioned in my little talk, it's always so meaningful. People leave comments, that their donation is in honor of someone, or they have a special memory of their father or something. And so I always share with our executive team the different comments. So we're always really touched and moved by your generosity and your reasons for giving.
So how much did we raise?
You know, I don't have that number on the tip of my tongue, so I'll have to get back to you on that, Wade.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Nate. Wade, thank you for asking that. Some things are important to mention also. At the same time, Wade, I love hearing what you say about the time too. So if you can, do you have anything to comment about today's event or a future of Java? What is your
For
vision?
me?
Yes, Wade. I love hearing things from you all the time.
Well, I am glad that we are expanding our horizons. It's going to take some work. And, you know, the addition 2 years ago of Colonel No. And last year, as you know, I got Monica Williams of Korean descent to be the speaker. We'll continue that. And it's more about Asia Pacific Islanders today, not to forget our legacy, but in order to push forward, we need to be more inclusive.
Very good. Thank you very much for your statement and wisdom, and I want to hear more later on. Hope to see you again soon. Okay. Next, that pretty much covers everything we had planned to do for this meeting. So now it's time for adjournment. However, before we have our president, Jerry Yamada, adjourn the meeting, just want to let you know that after the adjournment, I will be sharing the video that we showed before the meeting. It's about 15 minutes worth of video of our events from 2022, last year. So if you haven't seen that, please stay around. I'll put up and share with everybody so you can see what has happened last year. Okay, next, Gerald. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Howard, for emceeing the general meeting. It is 4:36, and let me adjourn the annual meeting. Thank you, everybody, for participating. Thank you for the EC members for their reports, and we look for and ask for your participation and support for our programs this coming year. All right, Howard, let's watch the video.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're just playing the video now. The meeting's now officially done.
Oh, thank you. I used so much.
You used a lot. Nice room though, huh? Like our room?
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Okay, this one.
Thanks, Howard.
Yes? that's it. And I'll send everybody the link to the playlist for all the videos, which has been already uploaded to the new Java YouTube channel. You'll receive all that in your email. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thanks, Howard. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Take care.
Good to meet all of you.
Thank you.